Hello, everyone. My name is Wilmer Zuna, and today I'll be doing the CA application teaching sample session. I will be using the student scenario where the student has presented a work that contains bugs. All right. So first, I would go through with students, checking in with their understanding in terms of what they believe the task is asking them to do, and just double checking that understanding. So the first thing that I would do after that would be go through the requirements of this function. And I will ask the students the questions like, what do they think the function is asking them to do in terms of requirements? And it would come down to two main aspects, specifically the aspect of creating or expanding on the twins, which we know are duplicate characters. And to also return or give back the new string. And I usually like to give examples to the students. So some of the examples that I could provide, I always recommend going with very simple examples. So for the sake of timing, I will just provide one example where we know here that if we have A, B, we know this to be eventually A, and B, B. Next, I would ask the student to go over their code just to make sure that they're understanding what they have done and to double check any misunderstandings or confusion that we have. So the student may indicate that first they're creating a string output for their work, which I would point out that is a good strategy. I will also point out that the for loop, or in this case for iterating through the input string, is also a really good strategy. And lastly, I would also indicate that there are two particular sections for the requirements that they need, specifically the inner for loop work and the last line where they're printing the statement. So first, we would indicate, or we would go through the students and indicate that in order for us to create or expand, in this case onto the output string, we ideally want to have a specific syntax in C++ that allows them to expand or add on to a string. So we note here specifically that the student has done output is equal to C, which will replace the entire definition of the variable output into the value of C, into what the value of C is. So in order for us to fix that into the behavior that we want, the actual syntax that we're looking for is output is equal to output plus C. And similarly for the other task. We also would note that this is equivalent to having output plus equals the character C. Next, we would go through with the student on the second requirement. So at this point, we have gone through and we've made sure that the student has understood the first requirement and what impacts that, their source of error. And for the second requirement, we note that we're trying to return or give back this new string that we have created, specifically the output. And one of the first things that I point out to the students, to my students, are the structure of the functions in order for them to get an understanding of what they need to do. Specifically here, because we have a signature string for a function, it means that we must return a string at the end of this function. Specifically, we want to provide the return statement along with the target variable, in this case, our output. Mainly because this command will simply print and not return. And that is everything. Thank you.